What is language for interviews?
Welcome to the workshop. My name is Lisa Kroll, and I am an NSCC English as an Additional Language Support Specialist. Today's workshop will help you prepare for interviews with practical tips in language. At the end of the session, there will be some resources to help you continue to improve these skills. Let's get started.
First, in this workshop, we will discuss experiences with interviews and the importance of preparing for them. We will identify different types of interviews as well as types of interview questions. Next, we'll explore what information employers are looking for from job candidates. We will practice some ways to ask for clarification during an interview. We will review some common interview questions. Finally, we will end with some helpful tips specifically for English language learners. To warm up, take a moment to think. Have you had any prior experience with interviews? Why is it important to prepare for interviews? Why do you think language choice is important? There are four main types of interviews. An individual interview is one-on-one with just one interviewer and a job candidate. A panel interview is when two or more people interview you at the same time, such as potential supervisors, managers, team members, HR specialists, and other decision makers within a company. A group interview is when several job applicants are interviewed at the same time. A structured interview is a standardized interviewing method where candidates are presented with randomized questions from a pre-designed question pool, ensuring consistent difficulty and comprehensive skill coverage. An unstructured interview is a flexible and informal interview method where the interviewer does not follow a predetermined set of questions. Rather, the conversation flows naturally so that the interviewer can explore topics based on the interviewee's responses. There are several types of interview questions. Behavioral questions or statements ask job candidates about specific situations they have experienced and how they reacted and handled them. For example, explain how you have dealt with a challenging deadline. How do you typically manage stress? Character type questions assess a candidate's personality, values, and ethics, how they think, feel, and interact with others. Here are some examples. What are your strengths and weaknesses? How would your colleagues describe you? Open-ended questions can't be answered with just a yes or no response. They encourage sharing details. For example, why are you interested in this position? What makes you an ideal candidate? Why should we hire you? Of course, there may be some overlap with questions that combine these different types. So what kind of information is the employer looking for? They want to know a bit about your personality, why you left your last job, your expectations for pay or salary, your qualifications, your work history, if you're going to be a manager, your management style, or if you're going to be a part of a team, what your teamwork style is, why they should hire you, what you know about the new job in the company, and your goals for the future. What should you do if you don't understand a question that an interviewer asks you? These are some useful responses to help clear things up. Sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you repeat the question? Could you tell me a bit more about what you mean by that? So you would like to know, is that correct? If you're preparing for an interview online, there are some tips. You will likely appear on video camera, but even if you don't,
it is still a good idea to dress professionally. Also, talk to the camera. Ensure that you have a professional looking background. Test everything beforehand, especially the technology. Put on your shoes. Remove any distractions around you. Practice, practice, practice. Have notes to help you refer to if allowed. Make camera contact. Use earbuds or a headset if necessary. And unplug your smart speakers. Doing these things may help you to feel more confident, well prepared, and to make a good impression on your potential employer. Next, we'll go over 10 common interview questions. The following recommended answers should be used as guidelines only. Do not memorize these answers and recite them during an interview. Your answers need to be unique and tailored to the employer and your own experience. Question 1. Tell me about yourself. Many interviewers will begin by asking the candidate to introduce themselves. They may want you to answer if you are a good fit for the job, if you have the right qualifications, and how you will fit in with the team and company culture. Question 2. Why are you interested in working for this company? Employers will often ask why candidates are interested in the job or working for the company. Here is a sample answer. I saw an article about your new CEO, John Smith, and the company's renewed investment in innovation. As a natural innovator, this drew me to the position with your company because I know that I will thrive in a situation where innovation is at the forefront of everything we do. Question 3. What are your biggest strengths? Another common question is what are your biggest strengths? Some possible strengths you could highlight are your ability to learn from mistakes, creative thinking, being able to prioritize tasks, being disciplined and determined to get something done, analytical thinking, communication skills, interpersonal or people skills, organizational skills, the ability to multitask, and job-specific skills. Question 4. How do you handle pressure? Employers may want to know how you deal with stressful situations. If you can do this, it may mean that you are a fast decision maker, organized, good at managing your time, and solving problems. Question 5. Tell me about an accomplishment that you are most proud of. It's a good idea to think of something that you have accomplished that makes you proud. By sharing this, you can describe skills for success, steps that helped you meet your objective, any challenges you faced, and any knowledge you learned through that experience. Here's an example answer for question 5. At my last position, I oversaw the implementation of a new software system, which is now used by over 100 employees. I developed a customized training program, worked one-on-one with about 1/4 of the employees, and introduced an incentive program to ensure that they stay current with the software. This allowed me to practice planning a large-scale project and motivating a sizable group of employees. I'm very proud of our accomplishments. Question 6. Tell me about a time that you made a mistake. Just as employers want to know your strengths, successes, and what you do well, they may also want to know you have dealt with challenges, learned from mistakes, and any weaker areas that you could work on improving in the future. Avoid phrases such as, I never make mistakes. I don't think I've ever had a failure. Always talk about what you've learned. Example answer. One thing I've learned from past mistakes is when to ask for help. I've learned it is far better to ask for clarification and solve an issue right away than to be unsure. I know that your company emphasizes teamwork and the need to be in constant communication with one another, and I think my ability to ask and answer questions of my peers would help me fit in very well with your company culture. Question 7. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? How about 10 years? Interviewers may ask candidates about their plans for the future, such as what are your long-term career goals? What is your ideal job at this stage in your career? What are you looking for? How do you define success? And what's most important to you in a career? Example answer. My goal right now is to find a position at a company where I can grow and take on new challenges over time. Ultimately, I'd like to assume more management responsibilities and get involved in product strategy. But most importantly, I want to work for an organization where I can build my career. Question 8. What are your salary expectations or requirements? Talking about salary can be a touchy topic. If an employer asks about your financial expectations, you can respond with one of these phrases. My salary is flexible. My salary expectations are in line with my qualifications. With my skills, I would expect to receive something in the range of Y to Z. Question 9. When can you start? Employers may have a tight timeline for getting a new employee started on the job. If you are not working at the moment, you can tell them that you're able to start immediately. If you do already have a job, it's very important that you tell the interviewer and that you notify your current employer at least 2 weeks before starting the new job. That shows both employers that you respect and value your work and colleagues. Question 10. What questions do you have for us? At the end of every interview, you will be asked if you have any questions. Be sure to come prepared with at least a couple of questions. This is an excellent opportunity for you to demonstrate what you learned about the job or company while preparing for the interview. It is also a great way to find out information that you need to know to decide if it is the right job for you. In Canada, there are certain laws that must be followed for hiring procedures. Employers are not allowed to ask you questions about race, age, religion, color, place of birth, disability, marital status, or children. If English is not your first language, the following tips may be useful for you. The employer is most interested in hearing about you and is not looking for minor language errors. If you can't pronounce one word well, try finding another one that you can say correctly. Be careful. Big words don't make you sound smarter. Clear communication is most important. Finally, be honest about your English level. If you have any questions, please email eal@nscc.ca. Thank you for listening to the workshop. If you need further clarification or to practice these skills, please book an appointment with an EAL support specialist or the Writing Center. Resources and references will now follow. There are many available resources for NSCC students. Please take some time to explore them. Visit the NSCC EAL supports page to view the schedules for upcoming EAL workshops, conversation circles, and to book an appointment with an EAL support specialist. Use the EAL guide for additional resources to help you with your language learning. Use NSCC's writing guide for tips, advice, and information for all your writing needs. You can find all these resources and more on the EAL Supports Connect page and link on the screen. Connect is NSCC's intranet and requires your NSCCW number and login.
NSCC has a great Preparing for Employment subject guide that includes preparing for interviews and other job preparation resources. References.